I told you I would update you in regards to my deed that the owner came back and agreed to sign a lease. They weren't able to pull the funds together to redeem, which is good for me and good for them that they get to stay in their place and have a tax deed owner that's willing to work with them and rent, not just boot them out and through the ejection process and then figure it out how to rent to someone else for a higher rate. So I don't know where I left off, but I offered the $400 a month, which was right at that 30% ROI that my coach recommended. He said 30 to 40, and then he came back and said, well, I do 30. The goal of renting is essentially just to get cash flow started as immediate as possible and to get that redemption clock ticking by gaining possession, because remember, possession starts the clock for redemption for these deeds. So anyway, attorney came back and said, yep, they agreed, and they're gonna come in and sign on the 1st, and that was like the 26th or something like that of May. Well, it's the 4th now. It's Saturday, so Wednesday was the 1st. I got a call from, actually an email from the attorney saying that for some reason the owner was not able to come in because they couldn't catch the bus to get into the office because the office is pretty far away from the property. So the attorney said he was sending the lease in a self-addressed envelope, and the occupant, not sure if it's the same person, but they were going to send a money order. I'm not sure how all that works money order wise. I've always just used cashier's checks. But anyway, attorney says he has a good feel for it and believes that it's all going to come to fruition. So like I said before, I don't know, felt too good to be true too fast. But I'm just following the system, trusting the process. And it's been 3.5 months, which I was told 4 to 6 is a really expedient time frame in order from purchasing to cash flowing. So I'm still good time wise, and so we'll see. At least there's some communication still with the owner, the occupant, whichever. That's pretty much what I have to report. Now I also am waiting on a quit claim deed from one of the other resellers that doesn't use an attorney, but that I asked to use an attorney. And I don't know, I think maybe there's something going on between that reseller and that attorney. Maybe they don't work well together, I'm not sure what. But there's this communication gap. It's definitely not as smooth as when I work with the reseller that has a really great hand-in-hand relationship with the attorney and does not close without using the attorney. And everything is smooth and it's just a well-oiled machine. And lots of communication. Everyone knows the role, which is wonderful. I get updated. Like I said, it's a well-oiled machine. Anyway, I'm still waiting for my quitclaim deed. So the deed gets put into the name of the reseller from the state. And then the reseller has to quitclaim it to me, so it's in my name. Because I paid the whole cold hard cash. So the deed from the state gets recorded in the name of the reseller, and so that gets sent back. I have that, and I'm waiting on supposedly the reseller sign this like the 11th of last month, and it's like I said, the 4th of June, so 11th of May. Like, I should have some communication. So I am having to keep tabs on this, which is frustrating, but it's part of learning how this process works. This is definitely not passive yet. It's definitely active right now. It's actively running this business. I'm actively learning how this goes. This is part of just managing this business personally myself. Obviously, if I chose to make it passive, completely passive, then I would just hire a manager that would be doing all this, administrative assistant or something. I'm not at that point yet. I'm still proving the model. So I have my investor who's come back through his assistant and is asking, hey, what's your plans? What's your plans for the 2 properties that we have? And I don't know if that means that he is looking for more, if he's looking to get out, I don't know. And I'm like, well, cash flow is my ultimate goal. I want to get these things cash flowing. And so therefore we just wait the process. So I think I've been giving an update about every month. I also have a Google sheet that they're shared on. And I update that sheet so they can see the progress of each of my deeds and where they are. And I just make new columns for the new events that obviously I'm learning about, like requesting the notice to vacate. And then I put that date. And then there's the notice to vacate was posted. So there's the request that I send to the attorney, but then there's a date where the actual notice was posted. And then there's occupant came back with the response, this date. And then redemption totals were given to the attorney, this date. And so as I'm learning these different steps in the timeline, I'm adding them to the column, adding them into a new column on my spreadsheet for tracking progress of all these deeds. That way they can check at any time. And I also have a little updated date on the spreadsheet so they can see when I've been in there last and what has been updated. So that's kind of what I'm doing to communicate. And I know the investors, they've put up this money. It's 3.5 months, it's 4 months, what's going on? I would want to know. I would want to have some communication. I'm trying to give that courtesy as well. I do want my investor and future investors to have a desire to stay with me and invest more. So I want to make communication very clear and consistent as far as the frequency of me giving that information. That's all I have for now. Every week, Saturday is my main day for one reseller, and Monday is another day for my other reseller, and I get those lists because remember, they get the price quotes, and those price quotes are valid for 10 days, but they choose to have different expiration dates on their site. And so one expires on Friday and then the other one expires on Monday, and that means that a new list comes out every Thursday. It takes a day or two to process. So there's this overlap of a couple days between last week's list and this week's list. And honestly, I don't want to go through last week's list again, all slotted in, shuffled in to this week's list. I want separate because call me crazy, but I just like doing the work once. So anyway, trying to figure out the best days. I've reached out to the resellers and I'm like, is there any way when I get your new list that we can separate the old list so that we can just see the new stuff? I don't want to go through the trash again. Sometimes you have to. And so anyway, went through my one list today because it's Saturday, trying to get trying to see if there are any gems to send on and go through the research process with that. So that's all I got. Talk to you later. Bye.